Our therapist shared with us today part of a book he was reading that referenced shame, and he shared this with us because my husband and I both struggle with shame, and we've talked about it in therapy before. And he's just been reading this book that referenced shame, and he knew we would be interested in this information, and I definitely was. It talked about how shame is something that babies and older people use to basically regulate themselves to match their caregiver. If a baby is really excited and then their parent doesn't attune with them, and the parent is shut down or dissociated or depressed or whatever, and doesn't mirror that baby's excitement, shame can take babies and older people, I assume, from hyper arousal into hypo arousal. It's a way that we kind of shut ourselves down for the sake of getting more aligned with our caregivers, which I thought completely made sense on multiple levels. But two that really stood out to me is, one, I've seen lots of things about how shame is the opposite of being connected. That shame is something that makes us feel excluded from our community. And so it kind of makes sense to me that shame, shaming ourselves or feeling shame, is something that we do to keep ourselves connected. That the threat of being othered from our community is so great that it will kind of motivate us to do whatever we have to do to stay connected. And two, just when feeling shame, even as an adult, I feel like if shame just hits you, especially if it's a little bit unexpected, it sure feels like that. It sure feels like you can go from feeling good to just wow, it can just be such a devastating transition, such a heavy transition in your headspace, in your mood, or in how connected you feel to the people around you. So I just thought that totally made sense. And at the same time, it's so devastating to think about babies. Parts of what he read referenced 14 months and part referenced 18 months, but in either case, these are babies, and that they are already at that young of an age feeling shame.